This shape or posture is half moon. This is a very traditional shape in the yoga, vocabulary. It is a shape that most teacher trainings include this shape. Of course, it's very common in classes. So I like this shape a lot because, and I think that's why it's popular and successful, because it really produces some nice fruit when you do it well. So what makes this shape interesting is its call to action in terms of single leg balancing strength. So it makes your feet stronger, it makes your calf stronger, it makes your quad stronger, and it also helps you strengthen the adduction and abduction qualities of the area here throughout the hips, because the natural positioning, the rotations, the hugging, there's a lot of conversation happening in the body when you're trying to balance and make this shape. So let's take a quick look at it. So the first thing so we can just jump right into the shape itself. First thing that I want you to do, Melayne, is turn your foot inside. Correct. Perfect. So for you guys, same concept. I'm standing this way. I'm in Tadasana because, again, everything starts from mountain pose. So I'm going to turn my foot here. And now I'm going to begin the transition of lifting this leg and counterbalancing with my upper trunk. So if you think about it, having the arms out, this is a way that we create balance. It's harder to balance with your arms by your side. So by having the arms out, like a tightrope walker uses the pole, this gives you the ability to distribute your weight. Now, you'll notice that because she's already turned this heel to the inner arch of the opposite foot, she's already created an external rotation of the hips. So she's not facing this way and shifting into a balancing. This would be a Warrior 3 variation, definitely another balancing shape, but the hips are what's, in this particular case, the variable. The constant in single leg balancing shapes is that you're balancing on a single leg. The variable or variation here is, in this case, the hips rotate into an external position. So as you begin to transition forward, you maintain that external rotation. You begin to elevate the back leg. All the while you're maintaining this, I'm just going to hold on to her to make this easier so we don't have to struggle with balance right now. I'm going to lean into her and let her have me here. Now, common mistakes. This, you can feel the tendency to want to pull and bow yourself back. What I want Melayne to do, I'm going to keep her solid here. I want her to use her front line and squeeze so she comes into a neutral position. So what I mean is, if she uses her back line too much, she'll pull back here. I want her to use her front line more, squeeze. I don't want her to overuse the back line of the leg because that will cause her leg to come back toward me. I want it here. Yes. So even though I'm pulling her in position, what I want to do is move her leg here. So now she's pretty clean right now. I am tugging at her and challenging her balance. Now, another thing she might do is compress here. So let's rest for a second. Now hold. Keep this leg straight. We're just going to do this, but with a variation. So leg straight, arms out. If Melayne right now were to just simply fold over, look at how she would collapse into the right folded side. What happens if she lengthens her spine? Good. Creates space, neutralizes the hips, cinches up the waist. Now there's firm muscular bracing that she can work with as she's transitioning downward. It's not a collapsing over, guys, but rather a reaching with length. So as I'm lengthening, I'm reaching, but I'm never collapsing in wherever I'm folding. So let's take a look at it on this side. So let's just go straight to the ground. Go ahead and put your hand down. I do not particularly teach this way of creating the shape for one very simple reason. It's a balancing shape that's supposed to be working this leg's strength. So I don't like using the hand. I like to keep it off the ground and make the practitioner have to learn to work and create balance in this leg, in that foot, without using the assistance of the ground. Now, is it wrong to use that? No, but you need to bend this knee and you need to keep this from, again, collapsing or compressing, because when you start bending down, but you don't have the range for it, you'll oftentimes get lazy through the upper body. So what I like about forcing a person, not to use the ground, is that I challenge them to have to be in this beautiful, integrous, and I don't know if I just made that word up or not, but I'm just going to say that I want an integrity present throughout the entire posture that she has to create that would be potentially compromised if she puts her hand on the ground and then gets to rest into her hand while she's trying to balance in this foot. But if she's just balancing in this foot, she doesn't get to rest anywhere. Everywhere else has to create the shape. Then I feel that the fruit of the work is much sweeter. So that's why I, teach students not to use the ground as a prop, okay? So, last thought, depth. If she's here, this is where it begins, okay? If she starts to transition, hold. This is half moon. This is just as much half moon as this is half moon. There's just a degree, maybe you can come up here, yeah. This is just as legitimate a position as this. So in other words, the degree of depth does not define the quality of the shape. The quality of the shape is defined by all the integrity and the accuracy and the precision of alignment within the architecture, but not how close her hand is to the floor or how, bent, how deep into the shape she is, how, deep the angles are. That doesn't define the quality of the shape. And this is a shape that comes up a lot for people. They think if they're not all the way down here, they're actually not, expressing the proper asana or posture, and that's just not true. So remember that you never sacrifice alignment for depth. So let's talk one more thing. Where do we look? Dristy. This comes up a lot for people. So I'm here. You notice that Melayne has been focusing the entire time on the floor as opposed to look at the sky. This is very difficult, and I'll tell you why. Because it's how far away the ceiling is from her. Look at the ground. The ground is clearly closer to her than the ceiling is. So if you need a point to anchor on with your vision, it should be the point that's closest to you. That will help you get the most contact and connection, which is what dristy is. It's the ability to anchor to a point and balance against it. And we use it in martial arts, and we just call it spotting your target. See it so that you can be accurate when you're trying to strike it. So when you reach for the floor, look, connect with it as you reach away from it. And that is our half moon.